Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Molly Tolsky. I'm the editor of Hey Alma. This past week, we have tried as a team to really meet our community's needs and to process and grieve together. And I just wanted to say on behalf of the Hey Alma team, we've also really felt like you all have met our needs, and we really can express how beautiful it's been to connect with you all, hear from you. You've been so forthcoming and honest and raw with us, and it's really made our jobs, it hasn't been easy. I won't say it's made our jobs easy, but it's been really touching and meaningful to connect with you all. So thank you for being here. And I want to thank Rabbi Emily Cohen for joining us today. Rabbi Emily is a rabbi, artist, and the leader of West End Synagogue in Manhattan. She is who we often turn to during difficult times to share her beautiful words of wisdom and help us process. So I'm super grateful that she is here with us today to lead us all in this moment. So I will turn it over to Emily and just thank you again all for being here.
Thank you, Molly. And thank you to everybody who's here. I'm seeing 312 people, which is pretty miraculous given the time. This is the middle of the day for many of us, or early in the morning, or if you're in Europe, heading into Shabbat, heading into the evening. And we're all choosing to gather in this horrible time. So the first thing I would like to do is invite you to put your phones away if you can. This will not be a long gathering. And of course, if you're joining the Zoom from your phone, keep your phone. But if you have your phone next to you, if you're on a tablet or a computer, I invite you to take the next, really just probably 12-ish minutes to be away from any screen other than this one, if you can. If you can't, I understand. And I want to help us to take just a moment to ground. So some of you may be at work or out on the street listening on AirPods or wherever you may be. Some of you may be in dangerous places, and wherever you are, I want you to take a breath with me across the time zones, across the differences. We're going to take a breath all together. We are in so much pain. If you can put your feet on the ground, if that's available to you, if you can straighten your back, if you can maybe put your palms on your legs or some variation of that works with your body and your circumstance. And we're just going to take one more breath all together. To bring us into community, I want us to connect with one another. So I would like to invite everyone to write in the chat right now one word to describe how you're feeling in this exact moment. There are no wrong answers. We just want to get a sense of where we are right now. And I think the chat's set up so that people can chat publicly, but okay, now everybody should be able to type. So we'll just bring some of these in. And they are coming across my screen too fast to even read mostly. And that is, in some ways, a perfect encapsulation of what this time has been for so many of us. The feelings are overwhelming. We are exhausted and sad and confused and distraught and scared and devastated and gutted and heartbroken. We are heartbroken for loved ones for whose physical safety we fear. We are heartbroken for our friends who have friends and family who are dealing with absolutely horrifying circumstances. And we are heartbroken by being in a circumstance that we cannot predict. And we come together to grieve. The words I sang at the start of our gathering come from Psalm 130. Mima hamakim karati chaya, Adonai shima v'koli, tiyena uznecha kashuvot, v'kol tachanunai. From the depths I call to you, the source. Hear my voice, O God. Let your ears be attentive to my supplications. It's not enough, but it's something. None of this is enough. I'd like to bring in just a poem from Rabbi Rachel Barenblatt. This was her initial reaction to finding out on Saturday morning on our holiday about this horrifying attack and thinking of the ramifications for all whom we hold dear in Israel, in Gaza, in the West Bank, and around the world. And I will say that I am not a speaker of Arabic, but with, I hope, loving permission, I am going to attempt the Arabic transliteration at the end, and I hope that my attempt will be received in the spirit in which it is offered, and I'm sure it will not sound correct to those of you who do speak Arabic. So from Rabbi Rachel, to our friends and family, From the windswept Golan to the sands of the Arava, we hold you in our hearts. We hold your children in our hearts. Our fate is bound up in yours. And to the parents and children from Ramallah to Gaza City, who also do not wish for war, but we love this land with you. We pray for peace with you, and we yearn for peace with you. God, with all the desperation of our hearts, we plead, may it be true that peace will yet come. Od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Rachija salam alayna wa'ula kul il alam. This is an ongoing horror, and we hold the grief of all who cry out for mercy, of all who cry out for peace, and of all who are already in mourning for beloveds. The Jewish community and the Palestinian community are both very small. I have 1 degree of separation from 3 people who were killed and from at least 5 who were kidnapped, and I am 1 person. If we were to add 1 other layer, if we were to go to not my friends' connections, but their friends' connections, I would run out of digits upon which to count the number of people in Israel and in Palestine who are in mourning and who are grieving and who are frightened. But grief can be a powerful tool. And so we are going to bring in another piece of Jewish liturgy, our Mourner's Kaddish, for the people whose names we know who have died in this last week of horror, and for the people whose names we don't know and perhaps will never know, whom we've lost. And I invite you to take a moment to think of anyone whom you have lost in this time and to bring their names into the chat. And we are going to mourn each and every person, named and unnamed, who has died in this last week. We'll take a moment to let the words come in. Ben Shimoni. And if there are others as well, now they're coming. Astrid's uncle's best friend, Ronnie Baker, Amit, 2 cousins from Kibbutz Cholit, Adi Vital Kaplun, Roi, Lior Takach, Ron, Amir Naim, family members of Adi Roches, a sister's friend, Chaim Katzman, Lauren's friend's best friend, Galia's friend's friend, Elena's cousin. We are so connected to one another, and the grief is overwhelming. As even in this group of 350 people, the names become too many. In Judaism, we say that each life is its own world, that one who destroys a life has destroyed a world, and we see that in these names. And so we are going to come together for Kaddish. And if it's your practice to recite Kaddish, I invite you to do so with me. And if it is your practice to respond to Kaddish as it is spoken, I invite you to respond. Because the words that we say together, Yehei Shmei Rabba Mevarach Le'elam L'Almei Almaya, these are words of lifting up. These are words of connections. These are words of saying, we are with you in your sorrow, and we will not let you mourn alone. So we are going to get centered, and you are welcome to rise up in body or in spirit. And we pray, Yitgedal v'yitkedash Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma divrach yiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, B'chayechon v'yomechon, V'chayeh d'chol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'yemru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitzpa'ar v'yitzramam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei d'kudashah b'richu. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, צמירן בעלמה ויאמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ויאמרו אמן. עושה שלום ברומיה, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל, ויאמרו amen. And I'm going to bring in one more piece of music for us that I wrote 2 days ago. This is a setting of Oseh Shalom, but I've rendered it in the feminine because sometimes for me, praying in feminine Hebrew brings the prayers alive. And I've also added the line, Ve'al benot Ishmael, for the children of Ishmael, for all of those who need peace more than ever. Oseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, Aleinu ve'al banot Ishmael, Aleinu ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'himeru amen. May we find comfort in one another. May we find peace in community. And may our grief be the power that we need to, together with love, make a better world. Take care, everyone.
Thank you all so much for being here, and Shabbat Shalom.